I be with your girl in my bag, she nesting. I be going hard, try to stay right with me. Get into these bags, hard to keep up with me. Eating many bags and it's hard digesting. I be with your girl in my bag, she nesting. I do this for the folks now. Batman gonna hold it down. Everybody shook out, only us holding down. Hitting up the bag, fam. Hey yo, what up, Crypto Brown? We gonna be known all around. We hold the crown. Can't stop it now. Spreading like a virus. This that spiral town. We vibing on a different plane, a different round. What goes around comes back around. I be going hard, try to stay right with me. Get into these bags, hard to keep up with me. Eating many bags and it's hard digesting. I be with your girl in my bag, she nesting. I be going hard, try to stay right with me. Get into these bags, hard to keep up with me. Eating many bags and it's hard digesting. I be with your girl in my bag, she nesting.
All right. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is Contact Fu. Is this you? If you don't want this to be you anymore, working at your job, if you want to catapult yourself into financial independence, if you want to get out of the money trap, that is what we are here to do at Kung Tak Fu, where we utilize the principle of compound interest to catapult ourselves into financial independence, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we're going to take a quick look at all the things that is going on. And today I'm doing this one on my phone because I want you guys to understand something. I want you guys to understand that it has all been a setup from the giddy up. All right? Everything that you were born into, everything your parents was born into, everything your parents' was born into, it's all been a setup from the giddy up. If you haven't read this book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, I suggest that you read it because basically it simply talks about in 1913 how the so-called Federal Reserve was created. And I say so-called because it is not federal. Yes, it's not federal, ladies and gentlemen. And Federal Express is probably more federal than the Federal. You see, it is a privately owned company, ladies and gentlemen. And many presidents from George Washington on up have always had in mind not to allow a central bank, because if there is a central bank, then that central bank pretty much controls that country and that government. As Amschel Rothschild once said, give me control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws. If we take a look at this, I suggest here's another great book that you also need to read. If you want to understand the roadmap of people that are in opposition to you, people who do not want you to succeed, people that want to break the bridge between rich and poor by taking out the middle class. You see, the middle class is the bridge between the rich and the poor. So, The Great Taking by David Rogers Webb. What is this book about? It's about the taking of all collateral, all of it. The end game of the current globally synchronous debt accumulation super cycle. This scheme is being executed by long-planned intelligent design, the audacity and the scope of which is difficult for the mind to encompass. Included are financial assets and bank deposits, all stocks, bonds, and hence all underlying property of all public corporations, including all inventories, plant and equipment, land, mineral deposits, inventions, and intellectual property, privately owned, personal, and real property financed with any amount of debt will likely be taken, as will the assets of privately owned businesses which have been financed with debt. Even if partially successful, this will be the greatest conquest and subjugation in the world history, ladies and gentlemen. So that is what we are here to do. We are here to talk about how are we going to move our wealth outside of the system, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about breaking any laws. We're not talking about being manipulative and deceptive. We're simply talking about protecting ourselves from those that would wish us harm, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the best vehicles to do that is cryptocurrency. So let's understand the landscape. The landscape is, previously we had the barter system where, you had a couple of horses, I had a couple of cows, and okay, you need some cows, I need some horses, so we're going to do a trade. That was the barter system, okay? And the barter system, it was really not, convenient, because it was very hard to find somebody who had what you want, and likewise them having what they wanted, okay? So thus we entered into the greenback system, ladies and gentlemen, which was a system of actual wealth, okay? Now, in 1913, that creature from Jekyll Island, that secret meeting about that, along with Bretton Woods meeting in 1944, which tightened the noose, which convinced every country in the world, every major country, to put the power of their dollar underneath the American dollar. But by this time in 1913, the next phase had already taken place, of course, which was the fractional reserve monetary system. So that's the system we're in now, which is a system of debt. And that's what this was talking about. Anything financed with any amount of debt will likewise be taken. Okay? So what we are doing here today is we are figuring out, through the use of cryptocurrency, how to move our wealth outside of the system so that the principle of force cannot be used against us. If any of you are chess players, you understand the principle of force. And the principle of force simply says, no matter who you think you are, no matter what your morals are, no matter whatever, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, you will do what I want you to do, or else. And we all know or else is 100 times worse. So with that, we can start out with ULTIMO, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that we can get ourselves an account outside of the system by setting up an offshore banking account, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just see if I can get to the landing page real quick for you here, guys. That's not the landing page. Let me see if I can. It's kind of fighting me here. Let me see if, let me just go ULTIMO. I just want to show you guys the landing page. No matter how much I try to, there we go, pre-plan this, things always go awry. But here we go. ULTIMO is it has a card that you can also take money out of the ATM. What you do basically is you take your crypto that you're earning through the multiple platforms that I will show you guys how to get into so that you can make your own money. And hopefully most times you guys are doing it in a self-custody sort of way. That's why I teach you guys about self-custody, so that the money is under your control. So if you're tired of rug pulls and all of that, there's nothing wrong with ROI dApps, but there's a way you must go about it, okay? In other words, you want to close that window of vulnerability as quickly as possible. If you've been watching my videos, you understand what I'm talking about. And I'm doing this video on my phone today because I need to zip around because I have a lot of things to point to in order to give you these guidelines. And this is one of the guidelines. Get your wealth outside of the system. The second guideline is do not invest more than you can afford to lose. In other words, do not put your budget life money into investments, no matter how ironclad they seem. Okay, many people do that. They say, oh, I lost everything. Well, you weren't supposed to lose everything because you were never supposed to put everything in. You're only supposed to put in that which you can afford to lose, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Your pizza money, your extraness money, okay? So ULTIMO is one of the first things that we need this offshore banking account so we can take our crypto, sell it into fiat on the platform, and then utilize it in any way that we see fit. Now, what is the second one, ladies and gentlemen? The second one, of course, is SPRITZ Finance. I will have a link in the description for all of these down below. And it's not because I'm trying to make $1 million off of anybody or anything like that, because what I am doing has nothing to do with what you're here to do, which is become the financial master of your own destiny. And so basically you can spritz, you can pay your bills with your crypto. In other words, if you're getting dividends, let's say you put $500 into a protocol, you make a couple of $100, your cell phone bill is, I don't know, let's say it's expensive. It's $180 because you got a couple of people, and you make $200 in crypto. You can use that $200 to pay your bill, which means that is money that you generated and it does not touch your base investment money. So it's almost like you're paying your bills for free. Now with this, you can even off-ramp your crypto into your bank account as well, also turning it into fiat. Okay. And you can go to Spritz Finance. And like I said, I'll have my referral link down in the description below, not to, to do anything, because you have a lot of people on YouTube, vilifying people who have referral addresses. Oh, they're trying to take advantage of you and this and that. I never understood that. Like, why YouTubers want to vilify other YouTubers. It's like, yeah, these YouTubers, they don't care about you. And it's like, aren't you a YouTuber too? I don't know what's going on with all of that self-loathing, and I'm not here to figure it out. But, basically, when I provide a referral link, it is primarily to give you safe passage through the crypto space so that you arrive at the proper place, because there are phishing and hacking that goes on a lot in crypto, especially, So these sites look identical to the actual thing, so you can't really tell once you're there because it looks identical to the original. This is why I give you guys referral links, okay? To give you safe passage through the crypto space so that you can be sure that you have the official link and you get the token or the platform or whatever it is you need so that you can take advantage of the principle of compound interest. So I invite you to go to Spritz Finance and give it a try. I use it myself. I do not give you guys anything that I don't use myself, because I want for my brother and sister that which I want for myself. This is why I'm here, to give you guys value all day, every day, even when I'm not doing it on video, I'm doing it out in the world, okay? And for those of you that understand spirituality, this is called seed money. The more you give, the more you get in return. Okay. So the next one we have, of course, is my favorite. And that, of course, is KINESIS money. Okay. And KINESIS money is tokenized real world utility, real world value, tokenized precious metals and or gold and silver. Choose gold and silver as money. Protect your wealth. Join a monetary system that gives back. What that simply means, ladies and gentlemen, is that they actually pay you to hold your gold and silver with them. Okay. And also, once you start an account, you will they will provide you with a financial advisor, and you can question them about tokenization, gold, whatever your concerns are, or even if you have financial goals, they will work with you, and you do not have to pay for that service. It is given you as complimentary of being with KINESIS money. And also, I might add, this is also completely redeemable, meaning if you go in here and you have whatever you have, a few hundred, few thousand, few 10,000, few 100,000. At any moment, you can call them up and say, hey, I want $5,000 worth of my gold and $2,000 worth of my silver. They'll say, okay, on the way. So yes, it is redeemable. You can hold your tokenized gold and you can put it physically in your hand if you so choose to. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've got our little preliminaries out the way, it is time for us to get into the raw material of what's going on today. And the raw material of what's going on today is I'm going to show you guys how to earn real yield and where to look. There are many things, like 318 million things happening in crypto. So how do we conduct ourselves so that we don't get overwhelmed? How do we conduct ourselves so that we have a cohesive strategy moving forward. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm here to show you today. I'm here to show you how to future-proof yourself in this system, and we're going to get right into it with a lot of things that you should be looking at. But let's start here. Let's start with wallets, ladies and gentlemen. And the first wallet we're going to look at is we're going to look at the Decent Wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Why the Decent Wallet? We're going to look at the Decent Wallet because the Decent Wallet holds many blockchains, and we can lock it down with a hardware peripheral, ladies and gentlemen, and or a biometric piece of hardware that we hold in our hands to lock up our assets. Everything from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Segwit, Ethereum, Algorand, Shiba Inu, Fetch AI, Metal blockchain as well. So, Quant, Relio, which is tokenized real estate, Stronghold, all of these things, even Reggie Middleton is in the house with Veritasium, XRP and or XRPL. When you see that L, that simply means ledger, because the XRP is on the XRP ledger, obviously. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar Lumens, and the list goes on. XDC, XDC's Comtech Gold, which is also tokenized gold. So all of these things going on, ladies and gentlemen. So I suggest that you get yourself a decent wallet and you start there. Also, if you get yourself a MetaMask wallet, okay, this is the one that most people use. I rarely use my MetaMask in its native form. What I did is I took my MetaMask wallet and I moved it into this. I imported it into here because it is much easier for me to move around inside of the BitGet wallet. So basically everything that I do in here in my BitGet wallet resonates also in my MetaMask wallet, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a lot to get to today. Let's get to it. So let's go back here and we're going to take a look at a few things, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard me talk about XRP. XRP is truly going to be the liquidity that is going to be used on the back end for this new world of digital ledger technology and or cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. There's a game being played. It started way back when with the creature from Jekyll Island and so on and so forth. And we know that there are people that want to keep us in perpetual poverty. Okay? That does not matter. What does matter is that we take up the mantle to be, or to fulfill, I should say, our own financial destiny. Okay? Because nobody can do anything to you without your consent. So if you give your consent for people to do things to you, then you pretty much deserve it. Okay? So we are here to figure out how do we neutralize, how do we slay this creature from Jekyll Island by catapulting ourselves. Well, the thing is that, you see, we don't have to attack anybody. All that we have to do is be the masters of ourselves and thus claim exempt status, because the winning move is not to play. I'm going to repeat that again, people. The winning move is not to play, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to worry about attacking anybody. You don't have to worry about doing some revolution and, oh yeah, we're going to rally the people. No, all you have to do is organize yourself, discipline yourself, and utilize the tools that are at your disposal with known as the principle of compound interest. And the best instrument for compound interest is cryptocurrency. You were never supposed to get your hands on cryptocurrency. You were never supposed to have this tool that cannot be deleted, cannot be redacted, cannot be stopped. You were never supposed to. They did not account for this. You ever notice how Agenda 21 became Agenda 2030? Yes, they're way behind schedule, and they didn't account for this. So right here, right now, you have the ability to be unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to it. The XPR network, which is the Metal blockchain, which is an extension of and or is the layer 0 And layer 0, of course, is an extension of the Avalanche blockchain, ladies and gentlemen. Avalanche has like 5 different chains and they're doing things. So everybody, is pointing to XRP, and that's great. So am I. But at the same time, we also have to remember XPR, okay, which is the layer 0 metal blockchain, ladies and gentlemen. So you can go on here and you can start to learn about this powerful SDK. You can go here, you can join us, so you can learn all about this, and you can take part in this, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a lot of times where they're going to try and stifle you. They're going to try and stop you. But if you have the mind of a troubleshooter, like me, I came up as a computer tech, so I naturally have the workaround mentality, like a river. Do you think a river cares if there's a rock in the way? No, it simply goes around, ladies and gentlemen. So I encourage you to go in here, go to xpr.network and learn how you can get started with this thing, how you can download the wallet, how you can get the coins, how you can place your coins, stake and yield farm on the platform, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So there you have that, ladies and gentlemen. And that, of course, is very, very powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Over here we have GMX on the Arbitrum network, but it is also on, once again, the Avalanche network, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as you see here, available on your preferred network, which is Arbitrum or Avalanche. These guys have billions, hundreds of billions on the platform. They recently did a V2, because previously it was just GLP for version 1, as you see here. And now you have GM, which is for version 2. All right. So you can go in here and you can use decentralization without having to use KYC, because when they say know your customer, that is not really about you knowing your customer, because you don't need to know your customer. You are your own bank. Okay, so knowing your customer, we all know what that's about. That's about them knowing who you are, so they can figure out how they're going to take you down. All right, so yeah, stay away from KYC as much as you possibly can. Now, if you're in industrial DeFi, then of course that's a road that's a little more tricky. Okay, so understand the difference between centralized and decentralized. Understand the difference between digital assets and digital assets and financial securities. This is why Gary Gensler is going around trying to say everything's a security, because that gives them the ability to control and tax you. And once something is taxed, it loses the ability to be used as compound interest. So therefore, your ability to catapult yourself into financial independence is severely diminished if they can simply put the label that this is a security. No, this is a digital asset. This is your currency. This is what you can and should use, ladies and gentlemen. So once you get yourself a wallet, you have to know how to go into an exchange. This one here is called MEXC, and it is a good exchange. It has a lot of currencies, and it is one that I rely on most of the time. And previously, throughout my travels, I have used many. I've used Gate.io, I've used KuCoin, I've used Binance, I've used Coinbase, Crypto.com, and I still have accounts with all of those guys. But I choose to be in certain places, that aren't going to give me the old runaround. If kind of like, back in the day when Gate.io used to have, their withdrawal button every once in a while didn't work. The deposit button always worked, but the withdrawal button at some intervals was under maintenance. Yeah. So this is MEXC. Okay, and you can go to MEXC and you can go in here and you can do your thing. I will provide my referral link down below. You can go in here, You can trade, you can swap out for different currencies. One of the things that I like to do, so I stay away from the fiat issue as much as possible, is I like to take some cryptocurrency I already have. I bring it in here and then I swap it out in the trade section. And when you go to the trade section, you simply go here and from limit, you put it to market so that your trade can take place right away. And then you go ahead and do what you got to do in order to do that. So I'm primarily making this video for a question that was asked of me. Somebody that I knew when I was working, you know, they said, well, I have a few $1,000s. I want to invest it. How do I do it? I says, well, the first thing you do is you learn. You learn how to utilize the principle of compound interest, okay? You have to have a wallet. You have to have an exchange. You have to have a platform. It's kind of like you don't buy crypto just for the sake of buying crypto, just like a carpenter doesn't go to Home Depot if he doesn't have a project, you see. You go to Home Depot to get certain materials, 2x4s, saws, nails, whatever you need in order to do a project. But there's no need for you to go to Home Depot if you don't have a project. It's the same thing here. I had a friend, you know, says, hey man, what are you doing about crypto? He says, oh yeah, well, you know, I got a crypto.com account. And I'm like, and? Where's your project? It's like, you don't need to have an account if you don't know how to do this thing. So that's why I'm here today, guys. I'm just here to show you around a little bit, you know, and just how this thing works, okay? Now let's take a look at some places where you can provide liquidity and simply earn passively, okay? Some smart contract auto compounding vaults, okay? Now let's take a look at this one. This one is called Umami Finance. And Umami Finance, they have just did, at the time of this video, they just did an overhaul of their system. They are working closely with many big deal, big time people like GMX, what I just showed you. You see, you could take that GLP you get from GMX and you can bring it on over here. Deconstructed GP yields. I invite you to come over here and take a look and learn of how you're going to free yourself from these platforms. I'm not here to run you through any of these platforms today, but if you stick to my channel, at certain intervals, I will pick one of these projects and I will take you down that rabbit hole and I will show you how to extract yield from that. But don't wait for me. Go in here. This is why I'm showing you. Go in here, look, learn, question, get frustrated, get irritated, do what you got to do, lose friends that call you stupid, all of that. This is the price that you pay for your financial independence. As I told you before, most people will die on the mountainside as you're climbing towards the top. You cannot stay there. You must go to the top, ladies and gentlemen. Another one that's back in the mix, that is a great gift, is Lodestar Finance. Lodestar was big about, I don't know, maybe 10 months ago. And something happened where they got, what do they call it? Exposure. I forget the actual word. But yeah, there was a an exposure that hacker took advantage of. So this one, unlocking critical DeFi, primitive decentralized money markets for Arbitrum native assets like ARB, Magic, GMX, and PLVGLP. That's Plutus DAO, in case you guys don't know. And then you go on in here and you can provide liquidity in here and earn yield passively, ladies and gentlemen. So I invite you to go to Lodestar, okay? If you're looking for coins, you can always go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and you can go in here and you can type in the coin. Let's say we were looking for Lodestar, right? Let me show you how to do that real quick. Let's say Lodestar, right? And then when you type it in and it comes up with that, right? Now see, when it comes up, it's going to show you the price. It's going to show you the chart. You can click here. It's going to show you the exchanges of where you can get it. You can also get this on Camelot, which is a another, you know, bombastic platform that we're going to take a look at. But if you go to info, you see where it says blockchain supply right here. I can't enlarge it, but it says blockchain supply right there. Yeah, you simply click on that. It's going to take you to Arbiscan, And when you go to Arbiscan, you can simply go down and use right here where it says contract. This is the contract address of the coin. And then you simply click on this right here, this little thing right there, that little double page. And boom, you copy that contract address. You go up here, you go to your wallet, and then boom, you place it inside of your wallet. You click here, you go there, and then you paste it inside of your wallet. And then bam, there it is. I already have it, so obviously. So yeah, so that's another thing that you do there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a look at a couple of other things before I go, because I just want to show you what's going on with here. I want to show you where we have good entry. This one just came out as well. This is another place where you can provide liquidity, but I'm not going to go over it today. Go ahead and take a look yourself. If we go over here to Osmosis Zone, okay, here's another place where you can provide great liquidity on the platform. If we go here, you got your swapper, okay? You got your swapper. You got your assets, all right? Deposit and withdraw, single-sided. You can stake. And then, of course, it's going to take you to somewhere else. Of course, you kept a wallet or whatever. And then you got margin, you got perpetuals, and then you got pools, okay? Now, when you go down here to pools, you're going to see many pools. And the most important thing, of course, is the APR. There are some in here where you can get as high as 800 APR, okay? Some with stable coins, okay? Now, the minute you have a stable coin in the mix between the two, that brings the volatility of the pair down by 50%, ladies and gentlemen. But aside from that, I wanted to show you something just as important. If we go to apps here, I want to show you guys something that is really, really special. And that is Lavana Perpetuals, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great platform, and you can go in here and you can do some trading. And if you're just learning trading, this is a wonderful place for you to learn trading, ladies and gentlemen. And not only can you trade with leverage on here, not only can you learn how to be delta neutral and do basis training here, but if you didn't want to do any of that, okay, what you could do is you could simply go in here and you can earn, ladies and gentlemen. We click over here to earn. And what you could do is you can go down here and you can provide liquidity in all of these. Now, one great thing about Lavana Finance to understand is that even though you see right here where it looks like it's two coins, DYDX USDC, that's another thing. DYDX just came up with their own blockchain and they are now the Cosmos Atom Hub, okay? That's Link right there, Link, that's Chainlink. Chainlink now has a competitor known as Pyth, PYTH, on Solana, okay? Chainlink has never had a competitor, now it does. But anyway, when you put your liquidity in here, it's going to be treated as a single-sided stake, meaning no impermanent loss, ladies and gentlemen. No impermanent loss, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike other places where there's two coins, you know, even the great GMX, there's some impermanent loss there. But here, there is not. So I invite you to take a look at this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much more that I could show you, that I could tell you, but I'm going to leave you with that because I don't want to overwhelm you, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, this is the Sensei, Crypto Phoenix, rising from the ashes of planet poverty and just striding into the atmosphere, because people say, you know, the sky is the limit. No, ladies and gentlemen. The sky is no longer the limit. We have spaceships now. Do you understand? Okay? This is what XRP Bags is talking about, where he's talking about it's the moon party. He's got his moon juice and he's going, okay? So there are no limits, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the blockchain, I am here to remind you that once you enter cryptocurrency and or the blockchain, some cryptocurrency doesn't have a blockchain like Hashgraph Hedera. We're going to go there next time, and Constellation DAG and Caspa and things of that nature. But cryptocurrency itself, once you learn cryptocurrency, you have just given yourself a license to make all the money you want. All you have to do is hold the line, ladies and gentlemen. Hold the line. You show me a person that has made $1 million in crypto, and I'll show you a person that has lost a couple of $100,000. The goal is to win more than you lose, and you will do so because this is not speculation or conjecture. It is about understanding the landscape, understanding the roadmap of the big players and or following the money, and knowing how to move around cryptocurrency and the blockchain, how to get from point A to point Z, how to move around the blockchain. How do I get from here to there in order to extract this liquidity? Okay? So we learn about these things. We learn about layer 0. We learn about layer 1. We learn about layer 2s. Okay? We learn about ZK rollups. We learn all this stuff because the more you know, the more money you can make, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're prepared to suffer from sudden wealth syndrome with me, then we can get therapy later. But right now, let's get this crypto.